My name is Dr. Terran Friends, and I'm the Director of Bearcat Bands at the University of Cincinnati.
Hi, I'm David Martin. I'm one of the assistant directors here with the Bearcat Bands at the University of Cincinnati.
My name is Nick Angelis, and I'm the assistant director, Dr. Terran Friends.
My name is Alex Tallinson. I play third bass drum. It's my second year in band.
My name is Elise, and I am going to be a third year in the Bearcat Bands. I play the alto sax for marching band, the tenor sax for jazz band, the flute for concert band.
I'm Bethany Hefner. I'm 20 years old. I'm a biopsychology major, and I'm the color guard section leader as well as historian.
My name is Nick Delacave. I am a graduate marketing student. My primary instrument is alto saxophone and drum major. It's my 8th year in band, and I am currently 25 years old.
Most college bands will start a week or so before school starts so they can play the first football game. We have the dubious honor of working our football schedule on what would be a traditional semester program, but the school is on a late quarter program. For us, that means we have to start school 3 weeks before school starts in order to get ready for the first football game, and that one's a little risky because we only prepare about 3.5 days for that first football game. This year, it proves out to be about 28 days before school starts that we need to feed and house about 200 students. We'll do homestays for the bulk of that. However, 3 or 4 days before the first game and the entire second week, we go away to a camp. It's about 30 miles west of here. It's a beautiful facility with multiple practice fields, a huge dining hall area, a motel-like setting where the kids get private rooms. It's actually a better situation on campus where we only have one football field. So we will do pretty much 2 weeks of band camp, and then on the weekends or in between times, we'll homestay and feed ourselves.
And so that was a big change for me to be at band camp to practice from about 8, to 9 at night or whatever, and actually you'll have to sleep away from home and get up and do it all over again the next morning. But it was a lot of fun. I kind of feel like I missed out on that in high school, so it's kind of nice I can do it in college because it is really a good time. The speed at which we had to learn was really surprising because the college band takes so much less time than the high school band does here at UC. That you're expected to know your music, you're expected to know your drill, and you're responsible for yourself. In high school we had section leaders that told you where to go on the field, but every member of this band has to know their position on the field. Everyone gets a drill chart and they all are responsible for what they are to know. And that was a lot different because it was kind of spoon-fed to you in high school. So it's very, very much a responsibility issue. And that was kind of surprising too, but a very easy adjustment.
Well, the percussion will be preparing for the football season in a percussion camp 4 days prior to the band, where they learn all the cadences, red and black, give it a cheer, cheer Cincy, down the drive, down the steps. They have chillin', jive, and all these passed down traditional cadences and walk beats, with a twist of something new. Then you have exercises, fundamental exercises to develop their uniformity of technique. Then you move on to learning music. So there's a large amount of material that has to get learned in the 3 or 4 days prior to the band getting here so that the percussion aren't necessarily always looking at their music.
All the color guard prepares is we have our own little color guard camp to go over basics, pre-game, some of the work that might be in the show, and just kind of get the skills up so that we can learn drills quickly and so on. We tape our flags and have everything set for shows so that we're ready to take it at band camp and have basically all the materials and equipment ready to perform the show.
A football game, while the game itself usually only lasts about 3.5 hours, usually encompasses about an 8 or 9 hour day for band students. On the traditional day of a football game, we usually have to report about 5 or 6 hours before the game, depending whether it's an evening game or an afternoon game, and do a run-through or rehearsal of what it is that we're doing that day. We'll then usually play either a greet the team or a rally someplace on campus. We'll have to take time out, or we try to take time out to eat something for lunch.
We have to show up to be in uniforms about 2 hours before the game, I believe. We put our uniforms on and we have inspection by the drum majors to make sure that we're all wearing the same thing.
We do our hair, we do our makeup, all that fun stuff, fumes in the air, and then we gather equipment, roll it up, and load it if it's needed for the away game. If it's a home game, we take our personal equipment and set it aside so we have it. We put on our uniforms. About then, the rest of the band is getting here. We come down, have inspections like everyone else.
We'll give a concert 1 hour before the game starts. From there, we'll do our traditional down the drive march where we reassemble from the concert and make a big entrance into the stadium. We have a traditional run down the stairs entrance. We need to prepare for that. And the show is on, as they say, at that point. We'll play the entire game with a good deal of playing. We play a lot of timeouts. Of course, we have our pregame and halftime shows that we do. But we'll play the fifth quarter at the end of the game. After that, sometimes the kids will have a meeting or a party or something to go to. So you take a look at a football game that maybe, let's say, starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're here pretty much from 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. It's a busy day. We'll start out by practicing 2 evenings a week, plus a mandatory sectional for a while until everybody gets everything learned. And then it will taper off to 2 evenings a week up through the fall quarter, which actually doesn't end until the first week in December. There'll be a break in there. And while that break is occurring, we're going to be dealing with basketball band. The band is usually quartered into 4 50-piece bands that then become the nucleus for basketball operations. And we take turns playing at both men's and women's games, depending on what band you're in.
Well, we usually gather about an hour before the game and go through a tune or two and maybe pass out a new tune. Head over to the basketball game and play the pregame ceremonies, play the Star Spangled Banner unless somebody's singing it. We let them sing it. Then we play at all the timeouts and coordinate with the cheerleaders and dance team.
Basically, we're kind of like a very cool cheerleading system. You know, we play a lot of fun songs. We have a lot of traditions that we don't do during marching band season that we do during band season, which makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun sometimes. It's a little more laid back, a little more casual, but I really enjoy it.
The beginning of the new year will bring the onset of both concert band and jazz band. Still from the basic membership of the marching band roster. We'll have 1 or 2 concert bands. They will only meet 1 night a week. Jazz band only meets 1 night a week. But we will continue to play the regimen of basketball games. We end up playing about 40 basketball games in total. So our performance structure is playing at basketball games as a pep band. Our educational structure is the learning mode for both concert band and jazz band. Someplace halfway through that quarter, we'll start a small ensemble program. Many of our kids want to do maybe brass quintet or flute choir or percussion ensemble, even Winter Guard. So we'll start whatever the small ensembles the kids want to do.
If you just do Winter Guard, we have 1 rehearsal, about 3 hours each week. And you go to about 4 competitions throughout winter quarter to perform the show. When spring quarter comes around, it's the same thing for practices, 1 night a week, about 3 hours, and it's not even instructor-led. It's just us getting together, choreographing a little show to put on for the band's ensemble concert toward the end of spring quarter. There are different types of high school guards, and UC differs from pretty much both kinds. There are guards in high school that are very laid back and don't really do much, which is not true of our guard, but there are also those guards that are highly competitive. They do the circuits, and it's all about the score and so on. The color guard here is meant for, you know, you're in college, you have a major, you have something you're working toward. This is just for people who still love color guard and want to perform and don't want to miss out on that aspect of their life. As such, you have minimal rehearsals but very productive rehearsals, and for instance, Winter Guard in the winter quarter, we do exhibition, which technically means we don't compete, but we still perform at all the shows.